Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of good old Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and of course, drop me a comment down below. Love hearing back from you guys. It goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this week we are on issue number 33 of Combat Patrol magazine. It is our Chaos Space Marine issue, so we get the Chaos Space Marine Legionaries, or part of them anyway. So we get 2 of the sprues. I believe there's 1 more sprue, and obviously the base is still to come with these for these guys. And yeah, they're pretty cool. I do quite like them. I like the fact though they have different shoulder pads, so you can mix and match your shoulder pads. You're not stuck to specific ones like you kind of are with most of the Space Marines. And if you wanted to, because the shoulder pads are separate from the mini itself, if you really wanted, you can get third-party ones and you can get upgrades and such like that as well. So you can get completely different ones. The other thing with them is the heads are separate as well. So, and heads are not all generic. So all the different helmets are slightly different. So you can, if you really wanted to, do a completely different head, which is really cool. And it's always one of the things I must admit I really like when Warhammer does this, because it gives you optionals and it can change things and you can do things slightly different and more tailored to your taste, which is always really cool. And yeah, super good. There is also some optionals to do with weapons as well, so it's definitely worth having a good nosy through, figure out exactly what you want to do, or you can just follow the build guide. Entirely up to you. Personally, I'm not going to be collecting Space Marines and going full whole hog on them, so I probably will follow the guide. Talking of them though, the best way to paint them when you can, in all honesty, is, and if you need to, obviously wait for the decent weather, which should be coming next week here in the UK. Spray paint. Spray paint is very worthwhile. So get yourself some Abaddon black, get yourself some, I don't know, Raven Guard Corvus black, or it's Raven black if you're going for Colour Forge, which is slightly cheaper than good old GW's paints, and spray paint them. So much easier. It'll save you so much time and effort priming them and base layering them and everything like that. If you can spray paint them, even if you are using Corvus black or Raven black or anything like that, it will make life so much easier, because you just need to go over certain areas with Abaddon black and your different shades and colours and golds and everything like that, and you'll get some really cool looking minis, which is really good stuff. And if you do need to pick up any part paints, if you want to get sprays or anything like that, you don't have to go directly to GW for your sprays. Check out your local hobby game stores or anything like that. If you haven't got one nearby, obviously you can always use websites such as Element Games and Wayland Games. I have affiliate links in the description down below. They're very good for your hobby supplies, whether you need brushes, glues, paints, if you want different minis, if you want to add to any of your armies and expand them, you can, because they have such a good range. Definitely worth checking out, because they have a lot of other stuff and not just Warhammer as well. So you can get things like Gundam obviously from them, and you can get board games like Halo Flashpoint, Dungeon Saga Origins, loads and loads of other stuff. Definitely worth checking out, definitely worth having a look through. And yeah, but otherwise, if you want to stick with painting up by brush, you can. Obviously wash your brushes very well afterwards. Anywho, enough talk about all that. If you're going to be building up following the guide, obviously the guide's going to give you a very good look through. There are optionals obviously indicated by that part there, because they're all interchangeable bits. So yeah, you can use any combination of them, and it's definitely worthwhile. Personally, I'm quite happy with that, and I quite like that, so I probably will follow the guide. Obviously you can build your aspiring champion, you can have some different options depending on which weapon you want to give them and stuff like that. So if you want to give them the little bolter or the axe, or if you want to give them the mace, and if you want to give them different bolter and different head, you can do. It's entirely up to you. Have a bit of fun with it. The same with things like your heavy bolter, icon bearer, melter gun, the corrupted power armor champions and such like that. You can have the different bolt weapons, warped, whether they're the different war gear that you can all mix and match and have a bit of fun with and enjoy yourself. And obviously you've got some power swords as well in there, so you can have some good old chain swords, which are pretty cool. But they all look really, really good. That's the main thing. They are really, really nice, and obviously they're not really just mono pose or anything like that. They all are a little bit more dynamic than a lot of Space Marine minis, in all honesty. Moving on from there though, we have a read section all to do with the Black Legion. So the Black Legion has a long and brutal history in the service of chaos. Forged in the eye of terror from the shattered traitor legions, the Black Legion has focused the anger and bitterness of the defeated traitors and provided them, so to say, with renewed direction and purpose. Now, they seek to tear down the Imperium and bring ruin to the galaxy. The Black Legion is the single largest and most notorious force of the Chaos Space Marines in the galaxy. It is many times the size of a Loyalist Space Marine chapter. The core of the Black Legion is built around the veterans of the original Sons of Horus Legion, their ranks swollen over millennia, with other renegades and Space Marine warbands who have joined their cause. So, the reason for the Black Legion being many times bigger than any good old chapter of the Space Marines and the Loyalists is because the Loyalists are limited to how big they can be. So any Loyalist Space Marine chapter or sub-chapter or anything like that is limited to only being 1,000, if I remember rightly, whereas the Legion, the Black Legion, has no limit. So the way it works is basically during the Horus Heresy, there were only X amount of legions. I forget exactly how many. I can't even remember now. And they were allowed to be absolutely huge. During the Horus Heresy, because of the Horus Heresy in particular, and the fact that the traitors came about, they limited the size of the Space Marine chapters, broke them down into many sub-chapters, and went that way. So they may only have one Primarch, so like the Ultramarines follow Reboot's Guilliman. There are chapters that follow Reboot but are not Ultramarines. There are some that follow the Lion, but they are not Dark Angels and such like that. So it works in that way. So they're all limited to a certain population cap essentially, and then there are new chapters after that. So yeah, it's the way it works. Anywho, moving on from there. You get a bit more information about the Sons of Horus on the back there. So millennia ago, the Black Legion were the Sons of Horus, one of the original Space Marine legions. The Sons of Horus were drawn from the brutal industrial world of Chthoniya, where aspirants knew nothing but violence from birth and were forced to survive in hostile conditions through gang warfare. And then you also get a few more hosts as well. So there are hosts uncounted. So the Black Legion recruits ruthlessly from other Chaos Space Marine warbands. Their ranks include warriors from many other traitor legions, even fanatical worshippers of individual Chaos gods, such as the pestilent Plague Marines of Nurgle or the mysterious Rubric Marines of Tzeentch, can be found united under the banner of Chaos Undivided. So, you get a bit of information about them. So, you can have include in your Chaos Army Corn Berserkers, Rubric Marines, Plague Marines, and Noise Marines if you really, really wanted to, or you can just go down a Legionary route, entirely up to you. However, things like the Noise Marines are pretty cool looking. I do kind of like them, but the best ones are probably the Rubric Marines, for me anyway. They are 100% one of the coolest looking Space Marine chapters out there, even though they are Chaos. Anywho, moving on. We get a bit more information about the Black Legion and the current leader of the Black Legion, Abaddon the Despoiler, is perhaps the most feared and renowned Chaos Lord in the galaxy. For 10,000 years, he has worked tirelessly to undermine the Imperium. Through genius, might, and the blessings of all 4 Chaos Gods, Abaddon has sworn to tear the Emperor from his throne and begin a dark new empire of his own. So, Abaddon the Despoiler. You can get this mini, which is pretty damn cool. He looks pretty badass, as you can see just there. Definitely worth a nosy at. He also, obviously in that picture, he's accompanied by some really cool looking Chaos Space Marine Terminators. Really, really good stuff. So he's a little bit more interesting than some of the other characters in good old 40k, in my opinion. But he's not my favourite, in all honesty. He does have some really, really cool bits. So he has the Talons of Horus, and he has a pretty cool weapon. I'm not going to try and pronounce that sword's name because I will screw it up. But otherwise, really, really cool stuff. Then we move on, we have some fiction, The Dark Descent Part 1. So giving us a nice bit of chaos in our good old Warhammer 40k fiction now, which is really good stuff. And always, can be quite enjoyable to read a bit of that, can't it? Then, obviously, we've got our collect page for the Legionaries. They are pretty cool. They are the black heart of the Chaos Space Marines raiding forces. Each Legionnaire in a warband matches the might of a Space Marine with centuries of experience and the blessings of the Dark Gods. Obviously, you can give them their unique name. You're not going to be naming individual ones unless you really, really wanted to. And obviously, you've got the data sheet on the back there as well. So they do have mixed weapons, so there are some different variations. So it gives you a bit more rolls and melee and different stuff like that. So definitely worth having a good read through and keeping an eye on. Then moving on, we get to do the unit names as well. So you've got your tables for them. So obviously, a bit of dice rolling, and you can get some pretty cool stuff. So you can give them the leader's name if you really, really wanted to, and their epithet as well, which is always a little bit of fun, isn't it? So it gives you a bit more uniqueness to your good old combat patrol if you wanted to. But you don't have to do any of that, of course. So it is entirely your choice. Do not worry about it if you don't want to do that. Then moving on, we get more of a core rules. So this is all to do with making attacks and your hit rolls, wound rolls, and such like that. This is all really, really important stuff if you're going to be playing bigger games later on, or if you don't want to be following the scenarios like for like. It's very, very worth having a good read through. I must admit, I always forget to read through most of the rules, but this will help you out in the long run. So it's definitely worth having a really, really good look through, because essentially in this magazine we do get the rule book for good old Warhammer 40k, which will help you play in any combat patrols. If you want to expand from combat patrols to 2,000 point armies, you can do. If you want to go for 3,000 point armies, you can do. Have a bit of fun. It is your game at the end of the day, and it's up to you how you want to work it to work. Obviously, there are certain rules that you will need to follow with certain armies, but otherwise, super cool stuff. There is no scenario though for this week. Instead, it's all to do with that kind of how the turns work and your core rules, which is equally important. Anywho, moving on. Next week, obviously, the Legionaries Part 2. So, we'll get the bases, heads, and the other bodies for the ones that are currently missing, and they'll be really, really cool. Happy days. We'll get more information about Black Crusades and weapon abilities as well. However, issue 35 and 36, part 1 of 2 and 2 of 2, gives us 5 more Chaos Space Marines. These are the Havocs. So these are a little bit bigger, they have some pretty cool weaponry, and a little bit chunkier. So, yeah, I mean, spread over 2 issues, does it need to be? Probably not. However, they are pretty damn cool. So, really, really good stuff. You get a bit more information about Chaos Renegades and the Armory of the Damned as well. Happy days. Really good stuff there. And in all honesty, that's it for this week. So, pretty straightforward, pretty easy. We will see where it goes from there. Obviously, there is so much more good stuff to come with good old Warhammer Combat Patrol. We have things like the Orcs to look forward to, which I must admit I'm looking forward to that Boomdacker Snaz Wagon, which is so cool to say. There are really cool units like that. You've got the Leagues of Votan, we've got the good old Astra Militarum. We have Gene Stealers to come. So we've got some really cool minis to collect, and there's a little bit more chaos to come, which will be really good fun though. Anyway, that is enough from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you sometime soon. Bye bye now.